On the afternoon of December 10th of 2018, Officer Nathaniel Scriven of the Fredonia Police Department responded to a non-emergency medical well-being check at an address on Liberty Street in the village of Fredonia.
George, it's the police department. Open the door. You hear me, George?
We'll have to break it down, buddy, if you don't open the door.
Gorgi Panev had locked himself inside the bathroom of a second-floor apartment. Unbeknownst to the first responders, Mr. Panev was suffering from acute intoxication of cocaine and LSD and exhibiting an altered state with agitated, violent, and self-injurious behavior. Moments after Officer Scriven arrived at the bathroom door, Mr. Panev burst out armed with a knife, attempting to assault Officer Scriven.
Dude, what's going on? Get back, get back, get back, get back, look out! Get back! Look out, look out! Get back! Get back! Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Because of Officer Scriven's quick reaction and self-control, he was able to escape down a flight of stairs and outside. Mr. Panev chased Officer Scriven out of the residence, across the yard, and down the adjacent property's driveway before Officer Scriven was left no choice but to fire his duty weapon.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
When he fired the first two shots, Mr. Panev was just feet away, knife still in hand. Mr. Panev stumbled, but continued to chase the officer, who fired two more shots as Mr. Panev continued to advance.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground! 5 Fredonia. Shots fired. Shots fired. 5 Fredonia. Shots fired. Chief, please respond.
There is no question that the lives of many were forever altered that day. By all accounts, Mr. Panev was a well-liked young man. He had caring parents. He worked for his family business. Nothing in our investigation suggests that his actions that day were consistent with his character. Unfortunately, he was operating under the influence of a number of narcotics that exacerbated his struggle with the loss of a friend in the summer of 2018. His struggle highlights so many who struggle with loss and drug use. His family and friends will forever mourn his passing. Officer Scriven is a veteran of the Fredonia Police Force. He is respected amongst his peers. He is well liked both within the community and department. His life was altered that day simply by responding to a well-being check. The incident that day highlights the unexpected dangers police officers regularly confront. It highlights how a routine call can turn into something far more serious in an instant. From December 10 forward, Officer Scriven's life and career are forever different. Over the past 4 months, we have thoroughly investigated this matter. The inquiry involved lengthy interviews with over 20 witnesses, including Officer Scriven, police personnel, emergency responders, medical examiners, chemists, and civilians. The investigation also included review of police radio runs, Easy Pass records, text messages and social media records, 911 calls and reports, forensic investigation team reports, pathological examination report, and video footage captured by Officer Scriven's body-worn camera. My ethical obligations prohibit me from laying charges where there is no probable cause to support them. There is no evidence to support any charges against Officer Scriven. His actions were both lawful and appropriate. We are closing this case. In addition, the information we uncovered has led us to charging the person who sold LSD to Mr. Panev that day. She has been arrested on charges of criminal sale of controlled substance and criminal possession of a controlled substance with intent to sell.